Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy South Central. We back at it again with another video, man. And I appreciate you guys for watching my videos and commenting and subscribing, man. I appreciate you guys. I work hard on these videos, even though it may seem easy, it's not, because I balance it throughout work and stuff like that. But I do appreciate you guys for watching my videos and making your voices heard, man. Even if you dislike the video, comment. Let me know how you feel, because I will respond if you don't see that. So the Breakfast Club brought on Dr. Umar himself. And I'm not too fond of Dr. Umar, but a few things that we can agree on, okay, in regards of the educational system being corrupt, the judicial system being corrupt, the medical industry being corrupt. We could agree on that. All right, I understand that. The thing I don't agree with him on is the race baiting, okay? It's just black people. They're all coming for black people. They coming after everybody. They don't like nobody. The powers that be, right? The New World Order, WEF monsters, they don't like anybody. Dr. Umar tried to find a way to make it only about black people. And that's the problem that we have in America. Everybody wants it to be about themselves. Well, the LGBTQ, the this, the that, the this, and that. And all they do is play on separation, okay? Dr. Umar is a very good weapon to these people because he preaches separatism, okay? We don't need to be around them. We just need to focus on our own communities, da-da-da. Not understanding that we all fight for freedom in each community. Doesn't matter what color you are. That's the one thing that we all have in common. But stop the common denominator. We need to find a way to separate them, and it's about your skin color, because we will never be the same skin color. All right. Although we are Americans, we can always fight about something, and that's the one thing that Americans love to fight about. If it's not about, it's about your sex, your sexual orientation, and these things should not matter when it comes to being an American, because we're all fighting for that one cause, and that's just to keep the freedom in this country, no matter who you are. I'm not into that. I'm not tied to that. I'm tied to being an American because everyone else understands and look at you as an American. No matter where you go, you can go to Africa and you're American. Doesn't matter where you go. It just seems to me that black people are the only ones that revoke being American. Okay, I don't want to be an American. I'm pro black, lead black. I'm this, I'm that. I'm everything outside of what America is, but I don't want to lead this country. It's simple, but you don't understand the power that be are using you as a propaganda weapon. And once he understands that, maybe he'll point that woke gun. All right, and I'm not talking about a real gun. Okay, FBI. I'm talking about symbolically a woke gun, and shoot it in the right spot to where it belongs. And in this case, on this video, I think he's getting somewhere. He don't want to say it, but he's getting somewhere. And we're going to dive into it. Let's go.
Which everybody wants to label. Whenever you talk about what the black activists in Chicago are going through, or whenever you talk about what black people here in New York are complaining about, they'll say, that's MAGA messaging. How is it MAGA messaging?
It's not MAGA messaging. Listen, the bottom line is when Joe Biden got elected, he said he wanted to fast track 4 million undocumented residents to full citizenship. Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for us. We ain't going to be motivated to vote for him November. So what he's going to do is have these migrants already set up with citizenship so they can replace the black vote that he loses. The migrants are being put in our communities on purpose, New York and Chicago on purpose, because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. They're the two most politically conscious black communities in America. So if we can wash out the black with the brown in New York, if we can wash out the black with the brown in Chicago, Philly don't stand a chance. Atlanta don't stand a chance. LA, Houston, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago don't stand a chance. The migrants are here for 3 reasons. Replace us at the polls, replace us at the low-end industry jobs, right? See, when Donald Trump said during the debate that Joe Biden is taking black jobs and giving them to migrants, he was correct. Although he didn't say it because he cared about us, but he's right. When people say, what do you mean by black jobs? Get out your bougie feelings and deal with the reality. 1/3 of black men have a felony. So there's a lot of jobs they will never qualify for. They are mostly what? Essential workers.
Now, I can touch on this plenty different ways, right? I am a blue collar worker. and I am also a felon. I could see in the blue collar industry how immigrants, they take the jobs. They do. It's the truth. It affects us ultimately. Not saying that it should be targeted towards felons, because don't make it about yourself. The thing is that it does affect these predominantly black communities. Not only the predominantly black communities, even the Hispanic communities, the ones who are legal. The Democratic Party is funding the demise of these communities, although they've been doing it for a very long time, okay? This I agree with. There is a thing called the replacement theory when it comes to white people. They're trying to replace white people with immigrants, okay? And that's the replacement theory that they're talking about. Oh, we're not trying to do that, but they're trying to flood this country with illegal immigrants. Why? Why is that? Just to win an election? If you dive deeper than just that, I guess you'll be digging into conspiracy, right? Hunter Biden laptop, what? It was true, right? Let's get back into it.
House, trucking, security. And a lot of those jobs are going to who? The migrants. So that's what he meant by black jobs. We got to stop being so sensitive and look at the reality of it. I was reading a report the other day. They said the Latinos taking over the construction jobs. They taking them over. Mm-hmm. And the low industry work, like your gardening, your landscaping, completely taking it over.
And black people, they're too sensitive and too tied to the skin color. And it seems like this is his grift. It's funny because he's waking up to it. This is his grift. Black people. You can't say anything. What does black jobs mean? You knew what that means. All right. It's not hard to understand. It affects black people mostly because they come to our communities. They can't afford going to Martha's Vineyard, so they come to us. All right. And what we do, and they're our competition. When it comes to gardening, not saying black people they're only capable of doing hard work and gardening and all that other stuff. No, what we're saying is that it affects us because those are our jobs. You're stealing our resources. I don't care if you take it or not. It's our jobs. We have a right to exploit those resources because it's ours. You don't get to come here and have it your way, because I promise you, wherever you from, we wouldn't be able to do it either. So is this fair? All right. But when it came to the term that Trump said, black and Hispanic jobs, a lot of people got offended because the way it sounds, taking it out of context, because it's easy. And plus it's a Democratic talking point as well. They want you to get riled up from what he says. But when Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, nobody cared. What does that mean, Biden? No, it's just, it was what it was. And he was interviewed by that same person sitting right next to Dr. Umar. The thing is that they don't care about racism. They don't care about racist folks. They don't care about black people. They don't care about gay people. They just use you as a propaganda weapon. That's all they want to use. That's all they want to do. And once you step outside of that box, you will be shamed for it. Okay? You're the black face of white supremacy. You are supporting white supremacists. You are against human rights just because you don't want illegal immigrants coming into this country and stealing our resources, because there's only so much we can give, right? I know this country may be a rich country, but people are still struggling out here. A majority of Americans are not wealthy. As much as people want to say white privilege, majority of this country are struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. We can't afford to keep paying these high taxes and feeding other people when our country is getting destroyed from the outside in, from the inside out, actually, because these people are traitors and they're doing this on purpose. We need to wake up. Okay, we need to stop tying too much into skin color, and I will say this about Dr. Umar too. Stop tying so much into skin color, because you're used as a weapon. They really don't care about what you have to say, because if you were a white man talking the same stuff, you would be angry. Like, whoa, that's a little, it's giving white supremacists. You're doing the same thing, but just because you're black, you're getting away with it. But you're getting away with it for a reason. It's not that you're saying something right. It's just that you're used as a weapon. It's good. I will allow you to speak, because anybody else that speak outside of that, speak about their country owning guns and being fruitful, not eating the bugs, Hunter Biden's laptop, Joe Biden showering with his daughter. You are censored, exiled from society because of that. So why do they allow you to speak? That's what I want to know. Why do they allow you to speak? Not because you are a black scholar and you're saying things that's going to help the black community. No. You're keeping it going. If we all get together and we're pointing the finger at who's really causing these problems, what they do is get us Dr. Umar or Whoopi Dookieberg to basically exploit the differences in our country. All right. And that could be skin color, that could be religion, that could be anything. Just exploit it. All right. Make sure we're fighting so they can keep doing what they're doing in the background. Let's get back into it.
They're not the enemy. The problem is black people don't get as much opportunity. So then people say, well, you know, white people don't really like brown people like that. That's true. But you know what the difference is? They don't have the burden of accountability with them that they have with us. We built the country. So every time they look at us or deal with us, the bottom line is y'all brought them here and they built y'all into.
I want to say that we helped build this country. We didn't build this country. It was built. It wasn't built the way that we didn't help the way we want. We would like to, but we helped build this country. You can't just take away our founding fathers who separated us from England. All right, it was a lot of war and turmoil and death. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just slaves coming here and just now it's America. No, it's a lot that comes with this, and we can't just exile them from history just because we don't like their thought processes. All right, things change, and I accepted that. Yeah, black people were slaves, fine. In every culture, I think in the beginning of every culture they were slaves, but this is so new because slavery was not that long ago. People still bring this up today, even use it as a weapon to keep white people in line because white people don't want to be deemed as racist, right? They knew what happened in the history of America and they feel bad for it. So guess what? Bow down, do what I tell you to do, and guess what? You're not racist anymore. Slavery, slavery, slavery. Also, black people use it as they also use it as a weapon to victimize themselves. All right? If I fell in life, it's because of slavery. Everything is rooted around slavery when it comes to black people. If I lost in any way, I competed and I lost, slavery. If I didn't work really hard on this job and I got fired, slavery. Everything is because of this situation when it comes to this country in involving a black person. And it's sad. Okay, once we deviate from that, you'll see the ugly snakes coming from the ground trying to hiss at you, telling you that you're supporting white supremacists, you're a coon, you're this, you're that, to keep you in line. And we need to identify these folks. And I think that Umar is very truthful saying these type of things. And I'm not saying that I rock with him totally, but if somebody's saying something real, you got to agree with it. I don't care who they are. If you don't rock with them, they saying something truthful, how can I get mad? How? All right. Now, his message is totally different from mine, but I can understand what he's saying. And I can understand what he's saying because I'm from California. I seen it firsthand. Okay. I experienced that, especially working in construction. You see it all the time. If he can admit that, that's a good sign. Let's get back into it.
To what you are. They don't have to say that to the Venezuelans. They don't have to say that to the Colombians. They don't have to say that to the Mexicans. So although they don't like brown, they will much rather deal with them than the black, because with the black, there is a white man's burden that you owe them restitution for 246 years of unpaid labor. Now let's look at what Eric Adams is doing over there in New York. A family of four is getting $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month. Do you know that that's more than what some of the veterans are getting with a child? They're getting more money than veterans who served in the military. Damn. Not only that, they're getting free food stamps, free child care, and permanent housing. Although New York City has a black homelessness rate no less than 35%. So you got black people who pay taxes living on the street, and you got migrants who ain't paid a single tax in their life eating and living better than the black people who built the country. If I was talking to Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson of Chicago, I would ask them something. What is the Democratic Party giving you guys that you're willing to sacrifice your political future to push this migrant agenda? Because I don't see how they get reelected by black folks.
To be honest, we have two different viewpoints when it comes to them getting the black vote. To be honest, all they do is cheat. They don't care about the black vote at this point. Okay, if you could cheat, who cares? And that's why their policies suck. It don't represent their constituents because they don't care. All right. That's why Joe Biden came out his mouth and said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black." That's the entitlement. That shows you they didn't really care. Who cares? Yeah, Trump is racist, but I can say whatever I want. I can lock your daddy up for doing what my son has done. And I said that they don't deserve any. We don't know what to do to give them any rehabilitation. We can't rehabilitate them. I'm sorry. They just gonna have to suffer. That was Joe Biden. But when his son did this, I'm like, oh man, look, I'm so happy he's getting rehab. My son is. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. Your father did anything that his son has done, and it happened back then, he wouldn't get that same grace. That's why I can't rock with him at all. And he's a known racist. You don't have to think about that. My thing is this, especially when it comes to reparations and restitution of a white person, it's a white person's burden to pay black people for something that they had no part of. To me, that's there it is again, the propaganda talking point to get you back riled in, emotionally invested. Say a whole bunch of smart stuff, rile you back into the division, rile you back into the foolishness. Get over it, bro. Get over it. I'm sorry. Our country was, yeah, it happened, but look at it. Look at it now. Most of the stuff most of the stuff that our ancestors fought for, we got it. We just don't know how to use it, and we get mad at that. Some immigrants that come legally in this country, they fight harder than us, and they're our competition, and they win because they use the resources that we fought for, that our ancestors fought for. But we still sitting here complaining. They're dying to get here, but we're not dying to leave here. If we're so oppressed, that's the issue I'm having with him. Okay, and black people did not build this country again. We helped build it because we were a part of it, but we didn't build it. That's wild for you to have the gall to say that. We're having so many problems with communities and groups because they always think it's about them. They're the most important in this country, and it's never been about that. Nobody's important in this country, bro. We all pay taxes, no matter what. We're all a part of this corrupt system that we're trying to break down. And the more you realize that, the more you'll understand that it's not about you. When you worry about when you understand the globalists and these last name and these people and these oligarchs with these last names that have been in power for a very long time, you'll understand that they care nothing about your race. They just care about funding war. They care about depopulation. They care about other things other than your skin color, but they want you to care about that. And you're doing a very good job at causing it, all right, and keeping it going, because we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere. What we're doing is pointing the finger at the white man. When you say the white man, who? Tell me who. Stop saying the white man, because the white man could be any person. I'm telling you, point the finger where it lies, and we can start from there. Give me names. Don't just say, I think this person is racist because he has certain things I don't agree with. No, tell me what this person is doing to harm the black community specifically. And I would say that same person, if you bring him up, right? And it's talking about the globalists and those who want us to eat the bugs and destroy the sovereignty of America. They have nothing to do with skin color. They're not targeting black people. They're targeting everybody. They hate everybody the same. Okay? But in order for us to survive in this type of situation, in this type of dire need of us coming together, we have to we have to separate ourselves from propagandists and people who try to exploit us due to our differences in this country when we're all just one people, to be honest. And once you understand that, we'll get somewhere. Let's get back into it.
I don't see how. And if your city goes to the migrants, you can best believe the migrants ain't electing no black person to mayorship. So you're literally dying on your sword for the Democratic Party. Do you know that New York City has spent $1.5 billion on the migrant crisis so far? It's projected that this year, 2023 was $1.5 billion to take care of the migrants. $1.5 billion. 2024 and 2025, they said it will cost New York City $9 billion. Chicago has spent about $350 million this year on the migrant crisis, and that's expected to quadruple. And you know what was so disrespectful about Chicago with regard to Brandon Johnson? Remember all them schools they shut down in Chicago because they said they couldn't afford to operate them? Mm-hmm. They opened them up. Not only did they open them up, they renovated them. Turned them into apartments for migrants, so you sleep upstairs, go to school downstairs. How is it that you ain't got...
All right, I'm gonna leave it here, man. I'm gonna have my last say on this, and he's right, man. They're basically getting treated better than Americans, and it's up to you to understand that it's not about your skin color. These Democrats have these talking points, but they don't care about you. They never did. They never will. I promise you. As long as you keep listening to them They're going to keep talking to you. Once you close that ear and say, I'm tired of being lied to, then you're a coon. Oh, then you'll see how they really feel about you, because they think they deserve your vote. They think that you owe that. I can get black liberals to vote Republican by saying this. Nigga, there go your reparations right there. They literally paid your reparations to the illegal immigrants. Willfully. They don't care about you. It's proven. Reparations is right there. And yeah, I'm being a little propaganda. I'm getting my little propaganda on. You know, I might get into politics after this, man. If you guys like this commentary, man, please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys again for watching my videos and commenting. It's good to see that there's like-minded people out there who thinks, not saying they think like me, but they have something to add to the conversation, because in the workspace, especially in California, you can't talk about stuff like this. People look at you like you crazy, because it's so much corporate propaganda that you can't express yourself. That's why I kind of made this YouTube channel, to speak to like-minded people and try to get black people to understand that we are under attack by the people who saying that you're under attack by the other people. All right, it's literally saying they went this way when a person is here. Tell me what you guys think, man. Like, comment, subscribe. South Central, we out.
On a mission, we be really politicking while we whipping in the kitchen. God be my witness.